Hey everybody, Tonval Legend 826 here. So, as we all know, there's all these protests because of what happened to George Floyd and, his his unfair death and everything. But something caught a lot of people's attention. While all these protests are taking place, we have to notice that a YouTuber by the name of Jake Paul was in Scottsdale, Arizona, and he was apparently seen in the mall where it was being looted by protesters during the riots. Now, as we all know, Jake Paul, he's a pretty decent actor, I would say. He was on Bizaardvark, the Disney Channel sitcom for 2 seasons. He also, he's one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform with 21 million subscribers, I think, around that. Yeah, 21 million subscribers. So I'd say that he has a pretty decent career. He's made a lot of money off of his performances, his work on YouTube and everything. He has like a net worth of 20 million, around 19 million dollars. So I mean, he's not the person I would expect would be speaking out against social injustice. Make no mistake, Jake Paul can do whatever he pleases. However, he's the last person I would expect would be like, be the kind of person to speak out against social injustice because I don't think he's qualified to be talking about this kind of stuff. I mean, he can talk about it if he wants to, but even then, I mean, he would have shared links to if he really wanted to speak out against what was happening to George Floyd, he could share petitions, show news articles, share links to articles, like show videos of what was happening, peaceful protests. But instead, he went to a protest and he was like videotaping what was happening there. We all know that he probably did it for views. I mean, come on, you can't deny that he obviously did it for some attention, for some clout. And even though he wasn't looting anything, he wasn't like stealing anything. He was still there witnessing the looting, and he was still he was still with people that were participating in the looting. Like for example, that bar, that store with those liquor bottles. We saw him ask a friend to steal a bottle. So I mean, it doesn't look all that good for Jake. I mean, I'm not trying to criticize Jake or anything, but at the same time, however, you can't just let this one go. This is another controversy after the 2017, like with Post Malone, the Everyday Bro song with Alyssa Violet. Jake, I want to defend you, I really do. But at the same time, it's just getting out of control with all these controversies. Then we had 2018 with he used the N word in rapping. Then 2019, it was Rice Gum and the Boxes. We also had Edfluence, the program which didn't work, by the way. And then 2020, we have this financial freedom movement, which also didn't work. And now we have this, all these protests and. Man. I mean, I hate to be harsh, Jake, but at the same time, you brought this upon yourself. Should have thought about this before going out to that mall in Scottsdale, Arizona, and videotaping the entire thing and filming and everything and yelling at police officers. Because what message are you sending to your young fans? I know that children are not exactly the innocent angels as we might all think they are, but at the same time, however, Jake Paul has a lot of influence. He has 21 million subscribers. You can't just deny the fact that he was at that mall and he wasn't really doing it because he wanted to like spread awareness about George Floyd. This is not the way to do it. To spread influence about George Floyd, to spread awareness of the social injustice and the African American community and all they're going through, and Black Lives Matter. What he did does not spread awareness. You don't just go up to a mall and start filming a bunch of stuff happening, a riot, and think it's gonna help people. It won't. Trust me. All right. I mean, going to that mall and participating in riots, although he didn't steal or loot anything, he still was there and he still filmed the whole thing for his own benefit to get people's attention. Because everybody in the world and the entire country is going through all this. The United States, so of course he would take advantage of that. No offense, Jake, but it is true. With that being said, honestly, I mean, this is another controversy. I hope Jake Paul can learn from this, honestly, but I mean, it's looking pretty doubtful, on all honesty. That's the honest truth. But at the same time, however, I think Jake Paul really, I think he has a potential to change his ways and realize his mistakes. But at the same time, however, I mean, he's been given a lot of chances, so it looks pretty doubtful, honestly. But yeah, George Floyd didn't deserve what happened to him, but this is not the message to be sending. Okay, you can't just be going out to malls and participating in all these riots and videotaping it and expecting clout and attention from it. That is not the way to do it, honestly. I'm sure that Jake Paul doesn't really care all that much about social injustice, and he's not the person, like I said before, he's not the type of person I would expect to be doing this kind of stuff, to be talking about social injustice, to speak out against it, to be a voice against it. If he wanted to speak out against it, this isn't the way to do it. If he really wanted to speak out against it, he would be sharing links and donations to help George Floyd, like some kind of a foundation or some kind of a fund or something like that, like a GoFundMe thing or something. This is not the way to do it. Just videotaping a riot, like recording it with your phone and all that. It's not the way to do it, honestly. But anyways, rest in peace to George Floyd, and I hope that the riots calm down soon. I really hope so, because I really don't want to see anybody else getting hurt, especially those innocent police officers. Yeah, things are escalating pretty quickly out there. Jake Paul needs to realize the seriousness of the situation. It's not about his wealth, his money, his fame, his privileges. This is the real world out there, with hardworking people who deserve to be like given credit for all their actions and for all their merits, and you know all their contributions towards the general world. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion about Jake Paul and his presence at the mall in Arizona when the riot was taking place. But that's just my personal perspective. Tonva Legend 826 out.